Alright, so let's collect all these elements what we automated from last few lectures and build one end-to-end test. And finally, let's click on the search button on SpiceJet website to complete our exercise. Okay, so I'll create new class and I'll add all the pieces what we have done from different classes. Okay, so let me expand this. New class, and I'll just put end to end. That's it. Okay. Right. So first, let's go to the updated drop down and bring these three items. Okay. So this is to open the browser and hit the URL. So once you landed on the URL, first you have to select, let me go back, yeah, from option and then to option city, and then we will select current date for now. Okay, as I said, do not worry about future date, that we will track in another lecture. And we will enter some passenger information and click on search button. So before we click on search button, we will also make sure that return date is disabled. Okay, and if you want to enter any checkboxes, okay, let's enter this family and friends checkbox. So overall our end-to-end test goal is to select Delhi from the front to Chennai with family and friends on this current date with the passenger of 2 or 3 adults. Is it not working? Maybe I need to refresh. Okay, we will enter 3 adults, disable, and click on search. Let's do that now. So this we did already. So I'm not going to write any new code again. I will just use whatever we did in the previous lectures and build one end to end. That's it. So where is that updated drop down? I think this is the lecture where we have. Okay, here it is. So here I am selecting Bangalore, BLR. So first let's select Delhi this time because our from drop down should be Delhi. And next, what next? So we can pick Chennai from the 2 drop down. So please be aware that this XPath is created based upon parent child reference. Okay, you know why. So the reason behind that is there are multiple instances found and we want to find it uniquely with the help of parent reference. So these will select the drop downs, and next let's go and select calendar. Calendar is also here. So this we have seen in the previous lecture on how to select the calendar. After selecting the calendar, we have to make sure that the another calendar is disabled. Okay, so this is the code. I hope you are very clear with this. We are getting the attribute, and based upon some research, we found that if attribute style is 0.5, it's enabled and script should return true. But in our case, we are not going to select on this round trip. So it should disable by default. So if it is enabled, then it should return failure, isn't it? Because when we are not selecting round trip, so if it is enabled even after even not selecting round trip, then there's a bug, right? It should be like this. So as we are not selecting round trip here, if it contains 0.5, that means it's enabled and fail the script. It's a reverse. If not, it's fine and you can proceed to the further. That's what this means. So you entered these options, you have selected the calendar and making sure that this is disabled. And now for passengers also, I think you have a code. Let me get that for you. Okay, or you can click this checkbox senior citizen also, as we thought that we shall include one checkbox. Okay, so now let me take it from here. Okay, so else, and then we are adding to handle the drop down. Alright, so that's it, and finally we need to click on the search button. We have handled all of this, and you can use select drop down to select this option. So it's up to you. If you want to work on this, use select drop down and select USD, which I have shown in the first lecture of this section, and then click on search. So let me take the object of search. We have an ID which is unique, so let's go with that, or you can go with XPath or CSS. It's up to you. So what should we go for this? We tried IDs mostly, right? CSS, XPath. Let me take the CSS this time. Okay, I'll write customize CSS to find it. Just a recap, how many ways you can write CSS for this? One is, if you know the ID, you can put simply hash, and then you can directly copy this. Okay, this is one way. This will work. And if you want to write customized CSS, remember the syntax: input tag name equals to value. You can do even that. So how to do that? So again, I'm just showing you different ways. We already saw these in previous section, just to recap. So tag name here is input, and any attribute you can select. You can select type, name, value, ID, any attribute. Let's go with type attribute this time. Type equals to submit, because this looks like a little unique, right? Or we will select value attribute. It's up to you. Value equals to, what's that? Search, right? Search. This also works. Okay, for the same thing, if you want to write XPath, put XPath here, and if you want to build customized XPath, you have to put / input @ of attribute equals to value. That's it. And now this turns out to be an XPath. Okay, so there are n number of ways, and you can put simply driver dot find element. There is name locator as well, right? You can simply put by dot name and use this. It also works. See, totally we have written 4 ways to handle this, and you can also use by dot ID, which is obvious. So it's up to you to select the right one. So just to make sure, let me copy the CSS and go to either your console or ChroPath plugin. Okay, so just see if that's existing or not. Is this highlighting? It seems there are multiple elements. You see that length is 2. Okay, so this may not be unique one, but first element is this one, so this will work. So there are multiple elements on the screen. 0th element is highlighting the search button. As always, through Selenium, it identifies the first one and it clicks on it, right? So it should identify. Okay, so let me also check from ChroPath how this is working. I can simply show by dot ID and leave it there, but I want to explore you with multiple ways of locating this. 2 matching nodes found, and this is getting highlighted. The first one is getting highlighted, and the second one is something related to MST, which is located somewhere in the bottom. This will still work because this is the first one, and it's up to you that if you want to use this, or let's take type attribute. Let's pick the unique one. Type equals to submit and hit an enter. It's still showing us 2 matching nodes, right? Okay, so let's stick to this and see what happens. However, it is identifying this as a first index only, so hopefully it should work. Fingers crossed, and let me comment out all this. But from your side, when you come across all this, if you find ID, just go blindly with ID. Just for training purpose, I am showing you how to write this with different locators. But ID will always be unique, and if you see this, just go with that. If you don't see ID, then only come to this XPath or CSS. Alright, so everything looks good. So I think there is some mistake here. After we select senior citizen, you have to open the button, right? You have to open the drop down option, which we are not doing here. Let me go back to our code. Yeah, this is the one. This is one I'm talking about. So before you operate on drop down, first you have to open the drop down, right? So you will open here, you will wait for 2 seconds and then iterate it for 4 times and then click on close button, and then you will validate the text by putting assertion, and these are different combinations of locators to identify search button, and you finally click on it. Okay, so let's run this test and see how it goes. So even it fails, we will go through the logs and understand the real error. So Delhi selected, and next Chennai 21st. Oh, it failed. Cool. So somehow it failed. The reason behind that is it's enabled. It should not. So this is one way, right? And this is giving us that button is enabled. So in what condition it will be enabled? If that attribute style contains 0.5, then it is enabled. Let's see what is this when you have. Is that default selecting the round trip? Give me a second. So, oh, I think it's default selecting round trip. If it is default selecting round trip, then obviously this will be enabled, right? So let's do one thing. No matter what it is selecting, one way or round trip, through our code, we will make sure that we are clicking on one way and then validate this. Okay, so sometimes this website by default having this option selected, and sometimes its default this option got selected when your browser is invoked. So we are not sure. So before we put this validation, first we will select one way and then we will check if it is disabled or not, so that we will be on safe side, isn't it? But if this is an issue with your application, you should raise a bug, because there will be some business criteria that either it should be one way or round trip. It cannot flicker every time when you open the browser. But for now, let's select this through our code and validate this. Okay, so what is this one-way radio button? We have some ID, right? I can use this. Okay, so before I actually validate that, or I'll put it on the top before I start my first validation. My dot ID dot click, so that it selects one way. And if it is disabled like this, it will be 0.5 on disabled. Okay, so if attribute contains 0.5, then it's basically disabled. So sorry, let me reverse it, because we are deliberately selecting one way. So in the last lecture we have selected for round trip. Okay, so let me cross check again. If it is 0.5, it's showing as disabled. So I put a validation that if it is 0.5, then test is passed. But if it is 1, now you spy on it. You see that it's 1 now. If it is 1, then it will come to else block and this will fail. Alright, so now let's run this code and I hope that this will work like a charm. We fixed all the issues and we brought all the UI components into one end-to-end test, and hopefully now it should select Bangalore and Chennai and it should search a flight with today date for 4 adults one way, and all the 4 adults are senior citizens because that's the checkbox we selected. So first it selected one way, Delhi to Chennai. Now it selected the calendar. It's trying to enter passengers 5. Senior citizen is selected. That's it. It clicked on search button and we are getting the best fares. Okay. So unfortunately there are no flights available for today. That's another topic. Okay. Great. So we have successfully automated a highly complicated travel UI. So wherever you go, people generally say that travel UI front end will be highly complicated because that will be rich in UI and they will put all the latest technologies because that's where people book a ticket and they have to give best experience, right? So in that terms, they will build the UI highly complex with neat and detailed UI. So if you are able to automate that, that's it. 50% of automation knowledge is already grabbed and it's in your pocket now with this end-to-end automation. Okay, so every website you pick will be on this manner only, and of course there are still a lot of topics to discuss, but yes, you have gained enough confidence to kickstart your automation. Alright, so that's pretty much about this lecture. In our next section, let's bring some more great and important topics which you need to know with Selenium automation. Thank you.